4th to order. Amanda, if you would call the roll, please.
Anthony Brunetti.
Here.
Keith Kyle.
Here.
Ellen Cornell.
Absent with cause.
Christopher Allman.
Absent with cause.
Christine Rochu. Here. Alvin Keimer.
Here.
And John Ball.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have 5 members present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. As you can see, we'll have the 2 alternates will be sitting tonight and paying attention and making motions. I have no announcements at this point. Approval of minutes from March 20th. We're going to continue. I'll obtain a motion to continue those to the May 22nd, I believe. May 22nd meeting. Anyone?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries to
No, not yet.
May 22nd. Made nothing from the board, from staff? No announcements or anything from staff? We're good?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, so everything on the agenda will be heard tonight. We'll begin with C1, Gabriel, Plat NR, Lot 19, 40 Clara Lane. Mr. Green.
Evening, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
And here. Jack McGreen for the applicant. Law office is located at 21 Garden City Drive, Cranston, Rhode Island. The applicant and owners are Gregory and Susan Gabriel. The Gabriels are the owners of Assessors Plat NR on Lot 19, located in the north end of the town at 40 Clara Lane, just north of St. George? North, yeah. Gabriel's purchased the property in 2005 as an advertised 5-bedroom home and have been renting the property as such for the last 20 years? Yeah, 20 years, yeah. So because of all the issues surrounding rentals, the Gabriels actually went to the town and asked the town to come out and make sure that property was in proper order, and of course they found out it was a 4-bedroom, not a 5-bedroom. So that's why we're here. The special use permit requested meets the development standards under section 12.23, as the request specifically it's specifically authorized under the ordinance 12.23 concerning the development standards for homes exceeding 4 bedrooms. The site is a legal non-conforming lot of record. The house on the property meets the definition of a single-family home. The next standard is that there are no additional special use permits or dimensional variances required for this house. We're not doing any construction. Nothing is being done to the house at all. The property has adequate parking. We were required to submit a parking plan. You might be able to flip to the next. You might have that plan. There you go. So we have, it meets the required 300 square feet per bedroom as required in section 10. And I do have, I don't think these plans made it, so I'm going to submit as applicant A, B, and C 3 pictures. The first picture just showing a depiction of the house with the driveway, a color image. The second picture just showing that the property is actually located at a dead end. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to actually go out and visit the property. And the third picture is just an overhead, applicant C, of Clara Lane, just showing that the house is in the area of similar size and design. So I'd like to submit those as applicants A, B, and C. As you can see, there are, if you go to first and second floor, this is just a rendering done by the applicant. We weren't required by Wayne to submit a full plan because we're not doing any construction. We're just showing it for illustrative purposes that in fact there are 5 bedrooms. I know the planning board did ask about the storage area, and my client will be able to come up and tell you what she uses that for. But basically she rents this to athletes, female URI athletes, and she uses that for her own personal storage, and then in the summer she moves in, and so that's why she's using that as storage, not as a bedroom. Although I will say that the house could accommodate 6 parking spaces, so we could, under the standards under 12.23, actually put a 6th bedroom in there, but we have no intention of doing so. She's just using that for storage. As I showed you in that plan, the use will not injure the appropriate use of the surrounding property, because all the properties are of similar size, and like I said before, this house has been there and being used as a rental unit for the last 20 years. There's not going to be any change in the use or in the style or design of the house. It fits within the area. And again, the granting of the special use permit will not alter the general characteristic of the neighborhood. And finally, it is serving a public convenience because it is providing, desperately needed housing in the area. So with that being said, I do have the applicant here if you wanted to ask her any questions. Other than that, that completes our presentation.
Okay, could you go back one slide? Understand the storage, tell me about the seating area.
The
So this is
sitting
the first
area?
floor, this is the second floor. I'm
Oh
assuming.
yeah, I'm going to have my witness come up and just swear her in so she can answer that question.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please state your name and spell your last.
Susan Gabriel, Gabriel.
Thank you.
So the seating area, I understand the storage area is not being used as a bedroom, and I understand the door is 6. But tell me what the sitting area is for. We're on the second floor here, correct?
There's a seating room up in the second floor, and there's also a sitting area downstairs with sectional and a TV just to accommodate for summer rentals and students to have more space, that's all.
Not being used as a bedroom at this point.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Mr. Memento, you're comfortable with the door the way it sits today?
Yeah, I mean, typically, for rooms like that, we would require a 4-foot cased opening without a door, just to, so that it doesn't meet the requirements of a bedroom, because it does have a door directly to the outside, so with that, with the hallway door, it would qualify as a bedroom.
Okay.
And again, my response to that is, even if it did, it could be converted to a bedroom, we have sufficient parking actually to make a 6th bedroom.
Mhm.
But again, it's not our intent. Otherwise, we would have asked for 6.
Understand, but you're asking for 5.
We're asking for 5.
That's why I'm asking.
No.
Okay, so you understand you can't use that as a 6th unless you come back looking for relief.
Understood.
Okay, got it. Okay, questions from the board? Comments? Pretty straightforward. All right. Hang on, we'll see what happens with the
Thank you, Mr.
with the
Chairman.
audience. Thank you. Does anyone would like to speak in favor of this proposal as a proponent? Seeing none, is there anyone that would like to speak against this?
I should speak as a proponent. I think they should have the 5 bedrooms.
As a proponent?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Wait, look, you need to come up and be sworn. If you're gonna speak, you need to come up and be sworn.
Please raise your right hand.
Right.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please
I
state
didn't know
your name and spell your last.
Robert Lovejoy, Lovejoy.
Thank you.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first. There's no one in your contacts name.
Sorry.
No worries.
I must have squeezed a button.
Unsqueeze it. Go ahead, sir.
I think they should have 5 bedrooms. They've been renting for that long a time, and they have 5 bedrooms with appropriate closet space and parking. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to have the 5 bedrooms.
Are you a neighbor or you?
I own a property on Lily Lane, on the dead end that's parallel to that.
Okay.
And my daughter lives there now with her husband and 3 kids.
Mhm.
But when we bought the house in 2013, it was just 3 bedrooms upstairs. And we got a building permit to add 2 bedrooms downstairs, and we did. And we have 5 bedrooms. We had to enlarge the bedroom windows for proper egress. And we also had to buy hurricane windows, which none of the other windows in the house are hurricane windows, but these bedroom windows downstairs had to have hurricane windows to meet the code. We had to enlarge the driveway, and we have 5 bedrooms. So I think if my daughter moves out, I should be able to rent to someone that needs 5 bedrooms.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So
Questions, anyone? Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak as a proponent? How about opponents? Okay, hearing none. What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, you want to close the hearing?
Should I close it? Should I close it? I should.
You probably should close the hearing.
Motion to close. Motion to close, anyone?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
You got it, Amanda? You got it?
Yeah.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Right, Joseph, got it.
I'd like to, sorry, a little rusty on this, so at first I would do, I don't want to make a motion at first, I want to make a finding of fact. Right?
You can make a motion for findings.
I'd like to make a motion for a finding of fact.
You have to speak up on.
Okay.
Sure.
So, findings of fact, tonight we have the owner applicant Susan Gabriel here, along with her attorney Jack McLean. She owns the property with Gregory, and they're looking for relief from section 12.23, development standards for homes exceeding 4 bedrooms. The property is located at 40 Clara Lane, and it's assessor's map NR lot 19. We heard from Jack McLean and Susan, what?
Susan Gabriel.
Gabriel, yes. And they gave exhibits A, B, and C. And we also heard from another person, Robert Lovejoy, who thinks the motion should be granted. So the property is a 10,000 square foot lot and is located in an R10 zoning district. It's an existing 4-bedroom, single-family home, and they'd like to make it a 5-bedroom home.
Seeking relief from section 12.
And section 1220, I should say it again.
Oh, you said it earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, that's my findings of fact.
I have a first for findings of fact. Do I have a second?
Second.
The first and properly seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
And so I'd like to make a motion to approve this special use permit. Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the special use permit for section 12.23 development standards for new homes exceeding 4 bedrooms. They've properly shown that the special use is specifically authorized for this ordinance. That it will not substantially or permanently injure appropriate or surrounding properties, and that the granting of special use will not alter the general characteristic of the surrounding area. They'll have plenty of off-street parking to accommodate the bedrooms. It will substantially serve the public convenience and welfare, and it will not result in or create conditions inimical to public health, safety, morals, or general welfare. And in addition to the above, the zoning board review shall consider that it's not going to restrict access or air, public access to water bodies, or conservation of energy. Did I miss anything?
Planning board recommendation?
What?
Planning board recommendations? Page 4. They found a complete conformance.
Oh, okay. And then I'd like to also say that the planning board did find that it's in conformance and that they approved it.
They recommend their approval.
Yes.
And there are conditions on the top of page 3. And you can include
I'd like to include one, two, and three on the project summary, page 3. And do I need to list them?
Nope.
I
Pretty
think
much good.
that's it, unless I missed something.
I think Ryan has.
Yes, Ms. Brochu, because Mr. McGreen stated that there will be no construction happening on site, we can go ahead and amend condition 1 to say that the approval is in, and strike all construction and is in striking substantial conformance with the floor and elevation plans and so on and so forth. And we can also go ahead and strike condition 2 and 3 if the board is comfortable with that.
Because there is no construction.
Because there's no construction.
You agree?
Sure, yeah, I do.
So condition number 1 is amended.
And striking 2 and 3.
Let's strike it to this.
That's it.
I have a first to grant the relief requested.
Second.
I have a second. Properly made. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Next up is Kitson, Plat NS, lots 36 and 37, 63 corner John Gardner Road. You have an applicant? You do? Yes, sir.
Get to scoot back.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear, are you going to speak? Yes, go on. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, please just state your name and spell your last.
Jillian Kitson, Kitson.
Thank you.
Doug Kinson.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first name.
I'm Doug.
That one I got it. Just-
Jill.
Jill, thank you. You would like to describe what your project is and what you'd like to do?
We just want to keep our driveway.
That's
We
good.
put it in about 6 years ago.
Say again?
We put it in about 6 years ago.
Okay.
So originally they put in a stone driveway and we did not know that we needed a permit and we paved it.
Okay. 5 years ago, give or
Yes.
take. Okay. And reasons for this? Are there reasons for this?
For
For
having a
having a paved driveway? Because
we
originally
have
it was,
little kids. And,
yeah, originally it was impervious, right? So that was,
right.
that's how you received the variance.
Well, we didn't, it was the previous
I
owners,
understand.
so.
Right, that's how the property
Yes.
happened, not necessarily you. And I
Exactly.
understand you didn't understand that you needed it, now you're trying to make it pervious and
Well,
you're looking to get it legalized, basically. what you're
Yes,
trying to do.
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
So in looking at it from our perspective, I guess we feel like we're within the lot coverage that we should be. We didn't know that we weren't supposed to pave the driveway. We kept the exact same footprint.
Go ahead. You got plenty of parking, and you got plenty of, I mean, how many, you have plenty of parking for the bedrooms in the home? So you're not looking for relief from that, so I'm assuming you are.
Yeah, we only have 2 people who drive in our home.
It's based on bedrooms, but
Yes.
what do you say? Okay, so this is back in 2000 that this was granted to the property. At that point, it was impervious coverage. So they're looking to amend that decision. Okay, do you have any attorneys or witnesses you want to bring forward to them? Okay, thank you. Questions from the board then? Any questions from the board?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So what is the little speed bump at the beginning of your driveway all about?
So there's water that runs down Anchorage Road and that was running into our driveway. I guess they resurfaced the road a couple of years ago and then this problem started.
Mm-hmm.
So we put that there for that reason and also to keep the kids in the driveway.
And it works. Keeps the water in the road.
Keeps the water in the road and the kids in the driveway.
Does it, because having the asphalt driveway, I would assume it runs the water towards your house.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it runs right to our garage.
Yeah. Have you ever considered turning some of it into stone?
There
It seems like all
is-
your neighbors have stone
So
driving
they,
through the
at the
neighborhood.
end of our driveway, where we had originally had stone, we did leave a big stone apron.
Yeah, right
So
there.
the water runs into that.
Before it goes into the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick
Mr.
question
Chair,
for-
if I may, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
there was certain testimony presented before the planning board that was viewed as persuasive, as, in my opinion, persuasive. And it's mentioned, but hasn't been discussed tonight, as to a medical issue for a family member.
Yeah, so we
And
have.
I don't wanna force anything out of the kids,
No,
but
it's-
it was helpful.
Yes, so we do have a child who has a medical issue. She has no deep veins in her leg. We were advised that as much exercise as possible was helpful for her. So we had an orthopedic surgeon who wrote a letter saying that the driveway was a good opportunity for her to exercise. That's why we originally paved it. So we put a basketball hoop there. She runs around. She can ride her bike. She can do the scooter. She's still not at an age where I feel comfortable letting her go on the road by herself. So, originally that was our intent, was to have a place for her to run around and ride a bike.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Council, another question, you were at the planning board,
I was.
so help me out.
Good
The,
question. I know it's coming, you might as well say it.
All right, so the planning board recommended approval, but the motion failed, so
Correct.
did they deny it? By definition, have they denied it?
Well, you would then expect another motion.
I would, yeah.
And that simply didn't happen. I don't know if it was an oversight, but sitting here tonight,
Mhm.
we had a motion that simply didn't carry. So you don't have a recommendation one way or the
Either
other
way,
from the planning board. Is that your interpretation?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And conditions 1, 2, and 3 were from staff. First, zoning board approval contingent upon the issuance of a right-of-way permit by Department of Public Works for driveway apron. Any concerns with that? So if we were to grant this, staff has recommended 3 conditions. The
Okay,
first was, I'll read it again, the board approval is contingent upon, if we receive approval, is contingent upon the issuance of a right-of-way permit by the Department of Public Works for a driveway apron. Okay. Second, it's contingent upon the issuance of an assent from CRMC. From CRMC, if CRMC were to modify the plan, the project may still be approved, provided additional zoning relief is not necessary. So if they did have to make some changes, they'd probably have to come back here, depending on what CRMC has to say. And finally, you're not doing this anyway, but that any disturbance, any area of disturbance be reseeded or sodden with a low-maintenance conservative grass mixture. Only slow-release fertilizers are permitted to maintain an intact. Oh,
Slow
sorry.
down. Yeah.
I do that to you all the time.
Yeah, that's great.
The area of disturbance shall be reseeded or sodden with slow-maintenance conservation grass mixture. Only slow-release fertilizers are permitted to maintain an intact vegetative cover. So those are 3 conditions that may be applied to the approval.
Yeah, I didn't understand the grass or what?
Don't worry about it, you're not doing anything because you don't,
Oh,
the
okay.
driveway's already there.
Okay.
We
Mr.
can
Chairman, I was
strike
just gonna say, you could strike that in your
Thank you.
approval.
what about the apron? What constitutes an apron?
Staff? Tell us about.
I'll comment. The DPW requires an Oak Street opening permit for driveways to make sure that the apron meets their standards. So it's something that you would need to apply to them. They would come out and see what the existing conditions, what you have existing may be okay. So you may not need to do anything. And I'll just touch on the CRMC letter.
Sure.
You can obtain the letter from my department, which you can then use to go to CRMC for a maintenance assent, basically, to explain to them that there was a stone driveway and it was now paved, and they'll have to grant you that assent.
That's kind of like, it is or it is. That one you have to accept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, any questions or further comments from the board? All good? Okay, why don't you have a seat, we'll ask proponents and we'll go from there. Regarding Kitson, is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Seeing none, is there anyone who'd like to speak against it as an opponent? Seeing none, the board would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second.
First and properly second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. What is the board's pleasure?
Chairman, members of the board, with respect to project summary, Kitson Tax Assessor's Plat, NS Lot 37, located at 63 Colonel John Gardner Road. The applicants appeared here tonight. This is Julian Kitson and Doug Kitson testified on behalf of their application. They are seeking to legalize their conversion of a previously approved pervious driveway to an impervious material at the subject property. In January of 2000, this board granted a zoning board approval conditioned upon the construction of a pervious driveway. These applicants apparently in 2019, without knowledge of the previous restriction in the zoning approval in 2000, installed a pervious driveway, and they've testified that they had no knowledge of the previous zoning restriction, and that they had the driveway resurfaced in part. It sounds like there's a stone apron somewhere near the garage to capture water runoff from the road, and that in part they resurfaced this in order to accommodate the needs of one of their children who it was recommended by their treating orthopedic physician that she needed to have I suppose a more stable surface in order to play and the like at her age. In addition to that, I would incorporate as into my findings of fact the project summary in total, including various photographs and the application of the applicant. And that concludes my findings of fact.
I have a motion of findings of fact. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. With regard to the project.
Chairman, members of the board, before I would like to grant this application, but I do have a question for legal counsel that probably at least even in my legal career as a lawyer and all the years I've been on this board, I don't think I've ever come upon one of these where we're being asked to basically grant some kind of exception to a previously granted zoning approval. So I don't even know what this. Is there a standard by which we're to follow here? I mean,
Question I have myself. I think you have discretion on this issue in this project. I don't think there's an appropriate standard that governs that as to answer your question. You're amending an older decision.
Okay. All right, with that being said, thank you very much. I would just make a motion to approve the application as requested by the applicants.
Is that enough? Should we talk about the amendment itself?
Yeah, well, what this would be is amending the previous zoning approval, which was dated January 6, 2000, to allow for let's put it this way, to allow for a pervious surface in the condition that the applicants have it constructed currently. You can't make any further changes to what you have. And incorporated into the decision as well are the three, I'm sorry, Ryan, the third condition?
You can strike the third condition.
Right, so the two conditions that are set forth in the project summary that you can, that Wayne described. So you'll need to get a CRMC assent and also get a permit from the Department of Public Works.
Okay. Then I can vote. I have a motion on the floor to grant the relief requested subject to conditions. Do I have a second?
Yes, second.
First and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've done
This is
it
a-
before.
Okay, next on the agenda is C3, Asante, Plat W, Lot 77, 20 Gull Road. Guys, hey Wayne, would you mind taking it outside or? Thank you.
Sorry.
It's all right. Next one is C. Asante, Plat W, Lot 77, 20 Gull Road. Sir, you are.
Hi, my
Are you-
name is Russ Greenolds, I'm a contractor for Mr. Asante.
Okay, we need to have you sworn then? You're not an attorney, sir? You're not an attorney? You are not an attorney. Okay, you do swear.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and spell your last for
Russ
me.
Greenholds, Greenhalgh.
Thank you.
Make your project, sir.
Thank you. So the deck is in disrepair and we are changing it in kind with the exception of, this is the old, what the old deck looked like. There was a gazebo we were adding out front right here. And that seemed to be the big problem because we were moving it so close to the waterfront. At the planning board meeting, we told them that we would be willing to get rid of that. And that seemed to quiet it down quite a bit and everybody was okay with that. So the only real thing we're doing now is we're just moving the deck 4 feet closer to the water there to where there is a retaining wall there that holds back a planter bed. And just on this side over here, we're just putting another 5-foot walkway there and that's all we're doing and change. But the whole deck overall just really needs replacing.
Okay. So you are removing the gazebo then? That you're
We're
going to-
eliminating it altogether.
Okay. So that changes the relief requested, right? So the section, we now eliminate, now eliminated, having removed the gazebo, the 5-foot side, right side setback is no longer required?
I would have to double check that really quick while you guys continue to talk. I did not calculate that number really quick.
Okay, if you would.
It has certainly minimized. It's no longer 5 feet.
No longer 5.
It would no longer be 5 feet. We don't have a new site plan, so I haven't.
Okay, so until we see what you can do, we need to know what we're granting the variance for.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, but in all fairness to staff, we don't have a new site plan in front of us.
I
Yeah.
understand, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you, so we can't do
We
that.
don't have a revised
Yeah.
site plan in front of us.
So with council, the procedure would be to grant the 5, and, no, I don't want to grant the 5.
No, not if it's not being granted for a reason. So I think we give staff a few minutes to see if we can figure that out. If that request is being requested in the same line, if it's needed at all.
It's up to staff, okay. So let's continue, let them do that. Okay, so you're moving the side yard setback, so that if, assuming you would move the 5-foot side yard, to look at special use permit and the variance for the coastal overlay district, just those 2 items. So you see the conditions that are provided by staff, the recommended conditions by staff? You've seen them, and we're comfortable with those? Those are yeses. how we're doing this. Does the staff have any questions or comments? I'm sorry, it's a board, not staff. You know?
I have one. I just want to be clear that the gazebo that's
You don't measure
depicted.
the fly. Does someone have a scale?
It's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
So they're gonna need another site plan. He'll have to submit another site plan without the gazebo on it. Right now, we're just trying to determine what the relief is request will be needed at this point. Not clear on this one.
Is the deck the same, is the deck proposed on what we have, not what you, not the change, but what we have in here? Is that deck the same size, or are you pushing it out 4 feet, or is that
12
shown?
feet, so the existing deck is 12 feet, which is this dotted area here. We're coming out another 4 feet to make it 16 feet.
And that was on the original plan. What you're taking off now is just the gazebo.
Correct.
So you're making the deck a little bit larger than what it is, but that's all you're doing. The gazebo we just forget the gazebo was ever on the plan, so you just bump it out the deck 4 feet.
Correct.
And you're making a walkway on the west side.
Walkway on the west side.
Okay.
We have to do the calculations, the way I'm reading this, there's no relief, so they haven't triggered anything except the special use permit as opposed to overlay. I just, unless I can tell us that.
Yeah, this is gonna be less than, it's less than 50.
But nonetheless,
I drove up there. It's going to be an interesting site to work on. It sits so high.
I did the whole remodel there, that house, I've been working there for years.
So we got the staff to tell us what we're gonna do.
All right. So the short answer is, Mr. Chairman, we can't measure on the fly.
Okay.
Because because the gazebo isn't squared off, it's not, the math isn't as easy as one would think. And without having a site plan in front of, without having a revised site plan in front of us, once you make a decision, presuming you make a decision tonight, we have about 30 days. If we don't get a revised site plan to be able to measure that, we won't have the accurate relief. You can grant it today based on no gazebo, but we won't know what that number is until they give us a new site plan.
So how about we continue it to the next meeting and we'll let
That would be great.
Yeah, let's not.
That would be, I think it would be beneficial for everyone, yeah.
Understand, sir? So because we don't have the site plan, we're going to continue to the next meeting. Can we continue to the next meeting? What do we have for?
Sure.
Yes. Well, I don't know what we have on that agenda.
Oh.
We can fit them in, can we?
It should be all right.
You'll be all right.
Good. So.
Right. You do have a continuation from last month
Yeah,
to
you
next
do
month,
have-
and you have a couple, I think we had, what, 3 or 4 on Tuesday? Nothing,
Nothing?
nothing.
So we would continue, so you're aware, we continue it to the May 22nd. In the meantime, we need you to get a site plan with this gazebo gone, so these guys can make the determination what the relief is actually looking for at that point.
So that means I can't move forward? I can't go to CRMC?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion from the board to continue this to a date certain of May 22nd.
So motion. I'll make a motion. Second.
Got first and second, you got them?
Say it again.
I got it first, and a second. Okay. It's been properly made to continue. Any discussion? Any discussion from staff?
No.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to the 22nd of May. Get them a plan as soon as you can.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along. C4 is Bogdan, Plat M, Lot 167-92, 9 Lane 2, Breakwater Village. There you are.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am not.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and spell your last.
Derek, D-E-R-E-K, Bogdan, B-O-G-D-O-N.
Thank you.
Before we start, I have a question for staff yet again, if I may. In the comment section, quote, in granting the requested special use permit, zoning board is required to determine the appropriate height of the second story up to 24 feet is permitted under section 4.8.1.5, considering the size, shape of the lot, as well as the proximity of adjacent dwellings and structures. 4.8.1.5 doesn't tell me a whole lot of what we're doing. It talks about a gross floor area. I don't see gross floor area in the project plan. So it's basically floor area, then it's a percentage of that to a maximum of 24 feet, and I don't have that information.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, in granting the special request of special use permit, the appropriate height of the second story up to 24 feet, are you reading from the second paragraph of the
Yes, ma'am.
comments?
Yes.
Mhm.
4.8.1.5 basically gives you a table.
Yeah, the dimensional regulations.
Yeah. And I do see what the gross floor area is in the staff comments. So
The gross floor area is on in finding effect B.
D.
B.
B.
This project requires no dimensional relief, as proposed.
Actually, less than 1,700. I apologize. And this is did not see that. They're going to say we're going. Understand what we're doing? What we're looking at?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is that, why don't you state your case? And I'll be looking for this.
Wonderful. My name's Derek Bogdan. Bought the property in 2020, just after the start of the pandemic. It was built in the 1940s. It is 20 by 20, a whopping mansion of roughly 400 square feet. One of those original cottages in Breakwater Village. It's up on cinder blocks. The floor's not insulated. It's got electric heat. And if you take a look at the site plan, you would see that it's 1 foot or less on my back setback. And all the way around is cedar shingles. What do we want to do? We want to tear this thing down. We want to fix all of our setbacks all the way around to conform to Breakwater Village regulations. We're going to make it energy efficient. We're going to make it fire code rated to all current codes. Also, I think an interesting point is its current footprint, as stated in the documents, is 47% coverage through a smarter utilization of the space. We're only going to cover 40% of the lot with the new structure. Also, an interesting point: the current parking is 336 square feet for 2 bedrooms. We're going to increase parking by 25% to roughly 419 square feet. We're going to be more energy efficient, proper codes, fixing our setbacks. And the other exciting news is I am not asking for 1 square inch of anything special. As you can imagine, the Breakwater Village HOA has a very rigorous process to make sure that it conforms. And I have a stamp of approval with no conditions from Breakwater.
No, you're the first.
Hey, law and order, right? Don't want to ask for anything special. And my understanding of the special use permit and why I'm here today is more of a procedural, as I've heard it referred to as a procedural step, asking for the second story. But there is nothing added beyond what is in the Breakwater Village codes or in town. That's all I have today.
That's well done. Thank you. So just getting back to my question. So max 24. What is the height that you're looking for?
23.8, it's on the plan. I was prepared when I heard you asking that question. That would be on the second page of the plan right here, which was submitted. Quick on this roll.
I'm buying what he's selling. So.
I going there. Okay, so max 24 feet, so we're good there. Any questions from the board after that wonderful presentation? None. Impressive. Have a seat, and we'll see what we have from the audience. You may.
I know Mr. Bogdan said that he has approval from Breakwater Village. Do we have that on file as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay, just want to double check.
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Ball, thank you.
Yes, we do.
Okay, any other questions from the board? We'll look for opponents. Anyone like to, excuse me, proponents? Anyone that would like to speak in favor of this project? Seeing none, anyone that would like to speak against as an opponent? Seeing none, Mr. Bogdan, if you have nothing else to present, we'll close the public hearing.
I do not.
Excellent. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the hearing. Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 5-0. Board's pleasure. Who's got it? Go, yeah, go ahead.
To make a motion regarding the findings of fact. So this is in relation to project summary Bogdan, tax assessor's plat M, lot 16792. Location is 9 Lane 2. Derek Bogdan spoke on behalf of himself as the owner and his co-owner Sarah Bogdan, and would move that the board accept the following facts for the record. Everything included in the project summary, and that the applicant is requesting relief from the Breakwater Village Special District, Section 4.8.1.6D, and that this application is being reviewed under the amended Breakwater Village Special District Dimensional Regulations effective June 1st of 2009. The proposed lot 16792 is about approximately 1,260 square feet. The existing structure is a 20 by 20 one-story dwelling on cinder blocks. Currently has lot coverage of approximately 47%. Proposed new structure would reduce that to 40%, in addition to increasing parking by about a quarter to 419 square feet. It would include demolition of the existing dwelling, the outdoor shower, and construction of a 22 by 23.5 irregularly shaped 2-bedroom, 2-story single-family dwelling with a 2 second-floor balcony and an 8x4 outdoor shower. Again, lot coverage would be approximately 40 feet. Would suggest 40%. Sorry, beg your pardon. Would then note the items A through I listed below, and again that the relief requested is from section 4.8.1.6D regarding a special use permit for the construction of a 2-story structure. Mr. Bogdan noted that it would be the maximum height of the second story would be 23 feet 8 inches, which is within the maximum of 24 feet that's permitted. Would also note the following conditions provided for in consideration of the review of the project, items 1 through 5. I would make that motion.
First, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Keep
I'll keep going.
decision.
I would suggest that the board approve as presented by Mr. Bogdan and the applicant based on the findings of fact, subject to the conditions listed in the report.
I'll second that.
I have a first and a second to grant the relief requested. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Good luck.
Thank you.
And last but not least, C5, Corium, Plat D, Lot 88-4, 16 Rockland Street. Sir. Sirs.
Good evening. I'll explain these in a moment, but I just wanted you guys to have a package. This will be an exhibit, I'm gonna ask that. Hey, do you need one for yourself? I didn't know who wanted it.
Yeah, we'll take
You guys.
it. Thank you.
Do you need one?
Yeah.
Yes, just let it go. Sorry.
Good evening, my name is Christian Infantolino. I'm with Murphy, Pryor, and Infantolino, and I'm here tonight representing Michael and Gail Haran, the owners of 16 Rockland Street. It's further identified as map D-88-4. The subject property is located in an R10 district and has approximately 8,320 square feet. We're here before you tonight requesting a variance from Chapter 731, Section 6.4 for lot coverage, where the allowable lot coverage is 25.7% and the proposed lot coverage is 31%, and the existing lot coverage is 24.3%. The relief needed amounts to approximately 136 square feet for lot coverage of relief in order to construct a small one-story addition. I'd first like to, request that all the application and supplementary materials, inclusive of what I handed to you today, be admitted as exhibits to this application, and hope that that can occur.
So the staff report is already included, so.
Okay, I just want to make sure that everything is included.
Exhibit A.
Thank you. So next, I'd like to mention this project has been vetted both by the vetted and approved as proposed both by the Historic District Commission as well as the Narragansett Planning Board unanimously. The crux of this request lays within an existing garage that is approximately 18 by 10.5 or 189 square feet. When this project was originally proposed to the Historic Commission, they had requested to remove the garage. Through all of those meetings, the Historic Commission found that the garage holds historical value to this property, and they approved the plans contingent upon the garage remaining. What you have before you tonight, what I just handed you, are photos of this garage, this historic garage that we can't remove. So I just wanted you to have a visual representation of what it is that we're required to keep on the property in order to move forward with any construction on this property. Go through that. And by keeping the garage, now we require that 136 square feet of relief. So the applicant is proposing, and I'll have Duncan come up and explain the plans more, but proposing a small one-story addition. The addition is going to include a living room, a main floor master to accommodate the family living needs. And the applicant and architect have taken a lot of care to maintain the integrity of the structure and the cottage feel in the surrounding area. They did not want to build something that was a box, a mega mass structure. They really wanted to keep it, what can he use for his family needs to grow into the space as he wants to retire here and make this more of a full-time residence for himself. And he does plan to, retire and live in place, basically, which is why they didn't go up and they maintained it that one-story level. So tonight I do have with me Duncan Pendlebury with Duncan Pendlebury AIA to explain the plans and provide testimony for this application.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and spell your whole name.
Sure. Duncan Pendlebury, D-U-N-C-A-N-P-E-N-D-L-E-B-U-R-Y.
Thank you.
I've been doing that since first grade.
better than mine. Mr. Pendlebury, can you please provide the board a brief explanation of your expertise and licenses?
I am a licensed architect in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. I've been licensed in 36 states in this country. Done work all over the world, but now I'm getting older and I'm just doing work around here, short drives.
And have you testified before municipal boards in the past?
I have.
And are you familiar with the Narragansett zoning ordinance?
Yes.
I'd request that Mr. Pendlebury be admitted as an expert witness in architecture.
For the purposes of this hearing, Mr. Pendlebury will be recognized as an expert witness in architecture.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pendlebury, can you just please briefly explain the existing conditions of the site and the proposed plans to move forward? And I can put those up here if you like.
I can use this this drawing right here, the site
Okay.
plan.
You don't have one, there's a pointer up there?
Mr. Pendlebury, do you need a pointer?
Yeah.
Sir?
Great.
Thank you very much.
The original house, you can see here, is like this. And currently, this is Mr. and Mrs. Horan's bedroom. It's a very small space, over a crawl space, and they barely don't have room for hanging shirts and so on and so forth. And so when they came to me, they requested that we expand the house to allow them a retirement opportunity. So the request was, since the family was growing, there were now grandchildren on the way and so on, they wanted to take this bedroom, the kitchen is right here, they wanted to take this bedroom and create a family room, so when the kids are over and so on, there's a place to watch TV or play games or whatever, and then to add a master suite so that it would be more comfortable for them when Mike retires, and which is coming up pretty soon, he says. And then they would have, he and Gail would have a large bedroom and a bathroom, which at the moment there's only one bathroom in the house. So everybody who is visiting shares that bathroom if you go here. So what we did is, do you have the plan that you can?
I can put the boards on the chairs.
No, that's okay. I think
Is that
Put them
for
up on the
project?
screen?
Yeah.
the actual plan of the house, no?
Like the elevations? We should have.
Elevation.
I have elevation
Yeah.
first, don't have the
This,
design.
one of the things that we wanted to do was, rather than go up, which doesn't really fit the context, we kept the eave line constant all the way across. So this is the addition, and then we kept the roof in context with the rest of the roof of this particular house. So it stays basically just as it is. And the Historic Commission was very favorable about how this would fit into this historic district. And so the one thing they weren't favorable about was losing the garage. And when we had, as you can see in the pictures, I think that there's a tree right next to it which we would like to save, but the tree's roots have come up under the foundation of the garage and are pushing the wall up. We were going to take the garage down, which gave us, within the context of the new calculations that seem to come almost daily to me, from my perspective. But within the new calculations, we thought that removing the garage would give us the space, and it wouldn't affect the yard at all. The yard being the yard being all of this green here, and the yard gets a lot of use. So when you put the addition on here, we've maintained the rear yard, we've maintained the front yard, and just squeezed down the side yard. So when the parking is here off of Rockland, and we have a pervious, we're planning a pervious lot for 3 cars, and then people can move to the backyard, and there's a deck back here and so on. And this is the culvert garage. So we agreed with Historic that we would remove the garage, but then that put us here. So we are looking, the garage gave us 188 square feet of extra open space, and we need, with the bedroom and family room extension, we need 136.7, I think is the number. Yeah. So that's really what this is. It is an opportunity for the Horans to retire to Narragansett, to live here. It doesn't, it's a house that they have been in for 20 years.
2002.
And intend to stay there. They haven't ever rented it. It's a family house.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Would you like to throw questions?
Excuse me?
I wanted to ask if anyone had questions for Duncan.
I have a couple more to
Yeah,
finish
go
off
ahead.
his presentation,
Yes,
and
sir.
then we'll go from there.
That's fine.
I just want to hit the criteria,
Yeah.
the legal criteria, and we'll make
Yeah.
sure we're all good. So, Mr. Penderbury, in your opinion, is the hardship the applicant seeks relief due to the unique characteristics of the subject lot or structure and not the general characteristics of the surrounding area?
Yes.
And in your opinion, is the hardship the result of any prior action of the applicant?
No.
And in your opinion, is the primary result of the requested relief the desire of the applicant to realize greater financial gain?
No.
In your opinion, would the granting of the requested variance alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent and purpose of the zoning ordinance?
No.
And lastly, in your opinion, will the hardship suffered if the relief is not granted amount to more than a mere inconvenience to the owner?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Does the board have any questions for myself or Mr. Pendlebury?
We're good?
What is the side yard setback? How many feet?
I know that no relief is needed. I don't know what the actual.
I just didn't see it. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of curious. When I drove by it, I was like, ooh, it
Was-
does, like, it looks like it takes up a lot, but, you know, it's
15
seated.
feet.
15.
It's 15 after the addition. Yeah.
15, after the other.
And then it's a 2-bedroom now. Is it going to be a 3-bedroom when finished, or will it stay a 2?
No, the bedroom is just moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Further questions? No. Question for staff, or possibly council. They have to go before the historic commission and meet their criteria prior to coming here, correct?
Oh, that's a chicken and egg question. Mr. Chairman, right, so
I
who
knew
do they
that,
go
but
to
go ahead.
first, right?
Mhm.
So had they come to you first and received relief, you don't trump the HDC's decision-making ability. HDC could have still denied them the request to deny, and then they would be coming back to you.
Got it. Okay. You anticipated my question. Thank you. So you did the right thing.
Well, they spent a few meetings at the HTC and a few meetings back in planning, because just things were changing at the time these applications came in, so. That's why when I said this project's been vetted a lot, this one's been through a lot. So-
And this is the second iteration, is that correct?
It is, yeah, because the original one had the garage removed, and then came
Now,
out.
yes, put it back in. Got it. Okay, no further questions for Mr. Duncan? Okay, we're good with Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, then we'll rest, thank you.
Oh, fine. Okay, well, I'll ask the questions. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor of this project? Other than the people we just had? Seeing none, is there anyone like to speak opposed? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Anyone?
Move to close the hearing.
Second.
And first and a second, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. What is the board's pleasure?
Chairman, members of the board, with respect to project summary, Haran, tax assessors plat D, lot 88-4, located at 16 Rockland Street. The applicant has submitted a request to construct a 28.5-foot by 28-foot one-story addition to include a family room and expand the master bedroom. This project requires a variance from section 6.4 of the zoning ordinance. Specifically, the applicant is seeking a dimensional variance of approximately 5.3% or 136.7 square foot lot coverage variance. The applicant was represented by, or is represented by attorney Christian Infantolino. He made a presentation on behalf of his client, and notably explained to the board that this application had been before the Historic District Commission, and I would say ironically by virtue of them granting the application and making you keep the old garage there. That's, in my view, created a hardship that does amount to more than a mere inconvenience, because it's preventing you from having the available square footage that you're now seeking relief from. In addition, the applicant presented an expert architect, Mr. Duncan Pendlebury, who testified with respect to his architectural renderings of the particular project, gave us information regarding its conformity with the historic nature of the area in which the home is located. And he also testified with respect to all of the elements required for granting a variance by this board. In addition to those findings of fact, I would incorporate the entire project summary, all of the exhibits, the certificate of appropriateness, and the available photographs of the property. And there's also a report from American Engineering. Sorry?
A site plan.
Okay, site plan. I incorporate that into the findings of fact. And that concludes my findings. Oh, yeah, this matter appeared before the planning board, and they recommended 5-0 unanimously that this application should be approved. And I think,
conditions?
yeah, I think there are some conditions set forth on page 2 of the project summary, conditions 1 through 5. Are those still all applicable, Ryan?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Can we incorporate the historic commission decision letter as well? I don't know if I didn't
Yeah, I think
say
I
that one.
referenced that. I think
All
you
right,
had the
we're-
certificate of
It was,
appropriateness was.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was included.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Staff, do we need to talk about the required amendment from the 2025 decision, January 7th? Does that need to be made reference to? Page 2, third bullet, I see the second bullet.
Yes, I see. I'm just taking a quick second to think about that. Yes, that is the decision in which they got approval for.
So we don't have to incorporate it in our decision.
I'm sorry, the question?
Do we need to incorporate it in our decision?
It is
Amendment.
incorporated.
Just by virtue of
Yeah,
being
by
here.
virtue.
Thank you. Good?
Yep.
Okay, I have a motion to grant the relief requested. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a first and a second.
I'm sorry, were we still on findings of fact?
Yeah, I concluded them.
Did you vote on findings of fact?
I think that's what we're doing now, aren't we?
You incorporated the conditions with your findings.
Right, well, we have,
So you're
We're on
voting,
fin- we're on
Mr.
findings
Chairman,
of
you're voting
fact.
on findings of fact right
Yes.
now? Okay,
Yes.
got it, thank you.
can't do that speak. Thought I had control here.
I thought I missed something, so.
Okay, findings of fact. We have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Chairman, members of the board, I would move to grant the dimensional relief requested from section 6.4 as set forth in the project summary. And in my view, the applicant has complied with all of the necessary elements for being granted a variance, and in particular, as I mentioned in the statement of facts, the fact that the Historic District Commission is requiring that this garage, which is probably not really serving too much of a utilitarian value at this point in time, has necessarily, in my view, created a hardship that otherwise wouldn't exist, I guess. As I also stated in my statement of facts, their expert, Mr. Pendlebury, testified to all of the elements of a variance, and I'll just set forth those in the decision, that there was testimony that the hardship from which the applicant seeks relief is due to the unique characteristics of the subject structure in this case, and not to the general characteristics of the surrounding area, and is not due to a physical or economic disability of the applicant, that the hardship is not the result of any prior action of this applicant, and that granting the requested variance will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance. And to the contrary, it will be in keeping with the general character of the surrounding area. I would move that the relief requested be granted.
Okay, we have a motion to grant the relief requested. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Again.
I'd like to thank the zoning board. Now I can go home. My wife said, don't come back.
Wait, you sure you want to say that? They didn't continue it to next month?
It's been a 2.5-year journey. I was hoping to have it paid for before I was retiring, but anyhow, I appreciate it. I know it's not supposed to be an easy process.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yep. Jill or staff, anything you want to bring
I
up?
don't have anything,
Talk
Mr.
about?
Chairman.
Good. I'm glad I was still in control. Thank you for calling me on it, but I'm glad I was still in control. It's good. Anything from the board? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Can I ask